Japan, a land of ancient temples and shimmering technology, but beneath the serene surface, behind the vibrant neon glow of its sprawling cities, lie stories. Stories whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations. They are warnings. These aren't just fairy tales, legends that cling to the shadows of quiet streets, waiting for the unwary. Because in Japan, the spirits of the past don't just haunt old castles, they walk among us. Tonight, we journey into the darkness to uncover the top 10 Japanese urban legends that will haunt you forever. We begin our descent into fear in a place many of us visit every day, a public restroom. But in Japan, an empty school bathroom stall can be the last place you ever see. This is the domain of Manto, the Red Cloak. Picture this: you're alone. The fluorescent lights above flicker erratically, and you realize there's no toilet paper. Suddenly, a voice, cold and disembodied, whispers from outside your stall. Do you want red paper or blue paper? It seems like a simple choice, but it's a deadly trap. If you choose red, you'll be met with a violent, bloody end, mirroring the color you selected. If you choose blue, you'll be strangled until your face turns a deep, lifeless blue. Some say asking for a different color summons a hand that drags you to the underworld. The only escape: to say nothing. To remain silent and pray, the spirit loses interest. So next time you find yourself alone in a stall, listen carefully. You never know who or what might be waiting on the other side. Our next legend walks the lonely streets at dusk, her face hidden behind a surgical mask. A common sight in Japan, which makes her all the more terrifying. She is Kuchisake Onna, the slit-mouthed woman. She approaches her victims, usually children or lone travelers, and asks a chillingly simple question: am I pretty? If you say no, she will end your life with a large pair of scissors she carries. If you say yes, she will remove her mask, revealing a grotesque smile carved from ear to ear. How about now? She'll ask. No matter your answer, your fate is sealed. Answering no results in you being cut in half. Answering yes means she will slit your own mouth to mirror her horrific grin. This legend became so pervasive in the late 1970s that schools sent children home in groups and police patrols were increased. She is a reminder that beauty can be a facade, and beneath a simple mask can lie unimaginable horror. Have you ever heard a strange scratching sound late at night, like nails dragging across a concrete floor? Pray it's just the wind, because it could be the sound of Teke. The story tells of a young schoolgirl who tragically fell onto a railway line and was cut in half by an oncoming train. Consumed by vengeance, her spirit now roams the night, dragging her upper torso along the ground with her claw-like hands. The tic-tac sound is the scraping of her body as she moves with unnatural speed. She is impossibly fast, and if she catches you, she will slice you in two with a scythe, making you just like her. Her legend is a terrifying tale of rage and loss, a phantom born from a violent end, forever seeking to share her fate. She hunts in urban areas, particularly around train stations, a grim specter of the dangers lurking within the city's veins. From the modern horror of the city, we turn to something more ancient, more personal. An object of childhood comfort turned into a vessel of eternal sorrow. Meet the Okiku doll. Housed in a temple in Hokkaido, this seemingly ordinary doll has a chilling secret. Its hair grows. The legend says the doll is possessed by the spirit of a little girl named Okiku, its original owner, who died from a sudden illness. Her family kept the doll in a household altar and prayed to it in her memory. Soon, they noticed the doll's cropped hair was getting longer. Year after year, it continued to grow, as if it were still alive. Today, the doll resides at Manenji Temple, where priests regularly trim its hair, which they say continues to grow to this day. The Okiku doll is a haunting symbol of a soul trapped between worlds, a child spirit clinging to her most beloved possession, unable to let go. Some stories are so terrifying they are never meant to be told in their entirety. Gozu, or Cowhead, is one such tale. The exact details of the story are unknown, because anyone who hears the full version is said to suffer a horrifying death. The legend speaks of a school teacher who, during a long bus trip, decided to entertain his students with ghost stories. He began telling the forbidden tale of Gozu. As he spoke, the students noticed a change in him. His eyes glazed over as if possessed. The children begged him to stop, screaming in terror, but he couldn't. When he finally regained his senses, The bus had crashed, and all the students were found dead, foaming at the mouth, their faces contorted in pure fear. The teacher never remembered telling the story. Gozu is not just a story, it is a curse, a narrative so powerful that the mere act of listening to its conclusion is a death sentence. Words have power. They can inspire, they can comfort, and in the case of Tomino's hell, they can kill. This cursed poem, written by Saijo Yaso, tells the story of a young boy named Tomino who descends into the lowest levels of hell. The poem is filled with dark, disturbing imagery. It is said that if you read this poem out loud, you will be struck by a terrible tragedy or even death. While some believe you can read it silently in your mind without consequence, vocalizing the words unleashes its curse. The legend gained widespread popularity on the internet, with many users daring each other to recite it, followed by reports of misfortune, illness, and an overwhelming sense of dread. It serves as a stark warning about dabbling with the unknown and the dark power that can lie dormant in ink and paper, waiting for a voice to give it life. Let's return to the school bathroom, but this time we're not waiting for a choice of paper. We're knocking. This is the home of Hanako-san of the toilet, a spirit of a young girl who haunts the third stall in the third-floor girls' restroom. To summon her, you must knock on her stall door 3 times and ask, "Hanako-san, are you there?" If she is, a faint voice will reply, "I'm here." What happens next varies by region. Some say the door will creak open and Hanako-san will grab you and drag you into the toilet, pulling you down to hell. Others claim a bloody hand will emerge. Though sometimes depicted as harmless, the suspense of that knock, the pause before the potential reply, has terrified generations of Japanese schoolchildren. She is the ghost in the stall, the unseen presence in a place of vulnerability. Imagine you're on the last train home. You're tired, maybe you've dozed off. You wake up as the train pulls into a station you've never seen before. The sign reads Kisaragi Station. You check your phone, no signal. You look around. The train platform is completely empty. This is the beginning of a modern legend born on the internet. A user on a Japanese forum claimed this happened to them, posting real-time updates of their terrifying experience at a station that doesn't exist on any map. They described hearing strange bells and seeing a one-legged man before their posts abruptly stopped. They were never heard from again. Since then, others have claimed to have found themselves at Kisaragi Station, a ghostly stop on a line to nowhere. It's a place from which no one ever returns, a chilling glitch in reality that traps unsuspecting passengers in another dimension. Our infrastructure is built on foundations of steel and concrete, but some ancient legends suggest a more macabre material was used. Hitobashira, or human pillars, is the ancient belief that sealing living people into the foundations of large constructions like bridges, castles, and dams would appease the gods and make the structure stronger and more stable. These sacrifices were thought to imbue the building with a spiritual guardian, ensuring its longevity. While historical evidence is debated, the stories persist. Whispers of cries heard from within old castle walls at night, or of shadowy figures seen near ancient bridges. The legend of Hitobashira suggests that the very ground we walk on, the bridges we cross, may hold a dark secret. Their strength bought with human life, their stability maintained by a soul entombed forever within. We arrive at our final, and perhaps most iconic, legend. A figure so central to Japanese horror that her image is recognized worldwide. She is the embodiment of vengeance, of a grudge so powerful it transcends death itself. She is Kurakami Onna, the black-haired woman, a spirit known in many forms, most famously as the Onryo, often depicted with long, stringy black hair that conceals her face. She is a ghost born of betrayal, jealousy, and rage. Her story is one of a life cut short by a loved one, returning from the grave to exact a terrible revenge, not just on her killer, but on anyone who crosses her path. Her presence is marked by a suffocating sense of dread, and her long black hair often acts as a weapon, ensnaring her victims. She is a timeless symbol of how the deepest wounds inflicted in life can fester into a curse that lasts for eternity. The night in Tokyo grows deeper. The neon lights, once so vibrant, begin to flicker and die, leaving the city in shadows. The stories we've heard tonight are more than just tales to tell around a campfire. They are woven into the fabric of Japan, a country where the spiritual world feels just a breath away. They remind us that for every well-lit street, there's a dark alley. For every crowded train, there's an empty platform. In Japan, ghosts don't just haunt the past. They walk beside you. They watch from the shadows. And they might just be waiting for you tonight. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the dark. If you enjoyed this exploration of the unseen, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales from the shadows. Stay safe, and whatever you do, don't look behind you.